So if you're just like me and you just started playing Cyberpunk 2077 2.0 because it was literally unplayable before, welcome. Today I'll give you my opinion of Cyberpunk 2077 and whether or not you should play it in 2024. I'll try to give no spoilers in this review, but if I do because it's necessary to make my point, I'll warn in advance. So first off, do you enjoy RPGs? If the answer is yes, then great. It's a mix of that and GTA. People will often say it may look like GTA or even Saints Row. Honestly, I feel like it's more of a Fallout GTA, if that makes sense. You get sent on a mission, the person in question tells you that they can only do that one thing if you do another thing, and so the story continues. There is of course much more to that, but that's the short answer. Now, did I experience any bugs? Since it was notorious for it back when it released. And the answer is only a few. None game breaking. Not the type which stops mission progression or anything, just graphical bugs. And I was relieved to experience this game without any major bugs or glitches. Cyberpunk 2077 offers a nice character focus from the start. You get to decide on how your character looks, and you need to make a decision on what background fits your character the most. I'm used to games offering such choices, but I learned at a later time that it actually gives a different starting mission as well. I really like this choice-based storytelling, makes you feel like your character is actually different. But later in the game you'll find speech-based options based on your background too, so it's not just the beginning. But whether you're a corpo, nomad or a street kid, it's in the choices you make after the fact that really shape the way the story unfolds. Now, it's not like every speech option gives a different outcome, but you can choose with whom you make friends and help out, or whether they get left behind. So you'll do missions for people, get money in return, loot enemies, or get better guns. And of course, you can alter your body using cyberware. It's basically body upgrades, because in the year 2077, everyone is a cyborg. That means you can upgrade your jump, for example, from only one jump to twice in a row, or even charge it up to jump higher, but also enhancing your vision, more armor, etc. There is also clothing, which will give stat upgrades, but from my experience playing the game, you really have to search for shops in order to get the attire you wish for. It's not like the game really motivates you to. I've been to multiple shops and found out the variety was a bit lacking. Now, of course, I searched up afterwards and there seems to be plenty, but I'm not going to search every shop to find it. The weapons are ranked from tier 1 to tier 5, and plus levels within those tiers, which you can see as upgrades. The rarity determines the number of mod slots the weapon has, with tier 1 having none and tier 5 having the most, but also its base damage, and it can have secondary stats. I found there is really more than enough types of weapons and especially ways to spec into your character with perks and progression. But you definitely need to play after the main mission in order to unlock everything. And the game doesn't make you overpowered within that time span. But of course, you can also do all the side missions first and then move on to the main mission. And I feel like this game is replayable too, since there are many variations to playing it. I finished the main story in about 20 hours. With the occasional side mission. And I only then found out how much I really missed on, because apparently there are 4+ endings. So what did I notice more than anything while playing this game? To me, it's the graphical side of the game, which is absolutely stunning now. But also the amount of things that are around you that make this city feel alive. Some small examples. Warning, spoilers. I was doing a mission and while listening to what they had to say, this huge sound was coming from a ship behind us, which was just casually passing by.
Good fucking riddance. 1 Arasaka whack job is already plenty.
I'm not used to seeing that. It made me feel like the whole world wasn't waiting on me to finish my mission, and it was actually doing its own thing, regardless of whether or not I was there. That to me feels next gen. It's also noticeable in the dialogue. If you feel like walking away while in the middle of a conversation, you can actually do that. And the funny thing is, there will be dialogue for it too.
I can't wait. It is not me first time. Shall we continue? Do you have what they call ADD?
It's these things that really make or break a game for me. If the game anticipates a move which you think is very clever, but in reality is really predictable, the game is doing something right. The graphical side is awesome, with the amount of detail in the environment, like the reflections in the water pools on the ground at night, which look great. Warning, spoilers. But in the mission The Rescue, for example, you will carry this body, which has great amount of detail to it, where you can even see the pores of the skin. But look at a random NPC in the street and the detail fades away very quickly. So it's obviously very selective. Still awesome nonetheless. The weirdest phenomenon to me was the fact when I first played this game, the world seemed so depressive and degenerate. Trash laying everywhere, and the setting, especially where your first home is just not looking good. But it gets a lot better. You make friendships and the focus shifts towards the people you care about. The story is intense, cool, unique and very interesting to think about. Especially since we're moving towards all being cyborgs anyway. Or we might be already, since we all carry around a phone everywhere we go. The story makes you think about all that, but most importantly, it reminds you of your own mortality. But I can imagine that some people might want to skip it because it's not a relaxing setting to most. This is also a factor you must consider. I feel like this is comparable to people enjoying a horror movie and finding it relaxing even, and some people might not even sleep for an hour after watching it. Luckily, the game is already pretty old, so you'll most likely get to pick it up for around $30 or even enjoy free weekends it offers. I think 30 USD is an awesome price for this game. If you watch this at the end of 2024 or even later, most likely the Game of the Year edition or just a bundle with the latest DLC will also be priced lower. And then it's even better of a deal. Lastly, I want to rank this game according to a scale I made up myself, which is divide the cost of the game with the hours spent on it. For me, that's 20 hours for $30, which makes it around $1.50 per hour, which is very cheap entertainment if you ask me. Awesome game. Definitely can recommend. If you're starting out and you want to learn more about this game, you can also watch these two videos, and I'll hope to see you there.